Hey my toy friends, it's me Gayla, back with another video. This is my third attempt at recording, so I hope it goes better. This is a St. Patrick's Day doll tag hosted by Evelina Evergreen, who I will tag down below. It's 7 questions about your doll collection. Let's get started. Question number 1, lucky and blessed. What doll or dolls were you really lucky to have snagged for your collection? So I feel lucky because I own a Pinky Cooper, a Patina Poodle, and an Emerald Witch. Now, Patina and Emerald have a special meaning for me because I had previously owned both of them and had to sell them for various reasons. Especially Patina. I had to sell my first Patina when I got divorced, and it was really hard. It was really hard, but I did it. I survived. I lived to tell the tale, and another one eventually came into my life. So Patina and Emerald. I had another Emerald before I sold her to help with bills. I regretted it tremendously, but you know, that's life. And later on, she came back into my life as well. So one thing I feel incredibly lucky and blessed is my Hitty doll. Now, my Hitty is the fabric. She is the Miss Susanna fabric Hitty sew it yourself kit, and she was actually given to me by a very nice lady named Beth, who is in the Hitty Facebook group with me. I had gone on there to ask a question about the book because I only had borrowed a copy from the library. I didn't own a physical copy, and I wanted to see one of the images, and I didn't want to have to request it again and have it sent over from another library to mine. And Beth said, "Oh, I have an extra copy of the book. I'll send it to you." Wow, wonderful, great. Okay, thank you so much. You know, I felt fortunate somebody even wanted to send me a book with the way postage is these days. But she sent me the kit to sew Hitty, and she also sent me this dress. So I got the doll kit, the book, and the dress. And I just feel so grateful and blessed to have her because I don't know if I'll ever have a wooden Hitty. They can be a lot of money, and I don't feel confident in carving my own. I don't have a steady hand. I'm pretty sure I'd lose a digit. Maybe one day I'll try, but for right now, this is my Hitty. If you don't know who Hitty is, there's a book, a very old book called Hitty, Her First 100 Years, and it's about this wooden doll. So the authors saw a wooden doll in an antique shop and said, wouldn't it be neat if we wrote a story about all the things this doll had seen? And that's exactly what they did. And they did go back and purchase that doll, the original Hitty doll, and she's in a library. I mean, if you look it up, you can see her. It's just incredible, and I love the story of Hitty. You know, it hasn't aged the best, but it's still a great story. I love stories about toys. Like I love Hitty. I love the Velveteen Rabbit. I love the Lonely Doll Edith. I love those books. I don't know, just doll books, Raggedy Ann. Yeah. So I better move on. Those are the things I feel so lucky and blessed to have in my collection. Okay, your pot of gold. Which doll is worth more than gold to you and why? And that would be my first Cabbage Patch as an adult collector, Jessalyn. And Jessalyn is not particularly uncommon or rare or valuable, but she means the world to me because she was there for me during one of the most difficult times of my life. If you go back in my videos, I have talking about my Cabbage Patch collection, a video about my birthday girls, and I tell the story of what was going on in my life and how Jessalyn was there for me. So that's why she is the most valuable kid to me. Number 3 is Lucky Charm. If you could take a doll with you everywhere, which would it be? So lately I've been taking my dolls out with me. I feel that it helps me because I don't like leaving my house. I just want to stay home. But if I take a doll with me, it feels a little bit easier. Here lately, I've been taking one doll in particular more than the others, and that is my new to me A-Zone doll. She is a Pure Nemo, and I want to say her name is Aiko. Aiko? I'm not sure. And that may not even be her name. That was her name in the listing. So if it's incorrect, I'm sorry. I just love her little tooth. She is one of my newest dolls, and I really love her. I don't have any dolls like this in my collection. So I've really kind of been out of my comfort zone dressing her to go out. And it's been a really good time. And she's a good size. She feels good in my hand. So I've enjoyed taking her places with me. She's a little bit smaller than my Blythes or like a Barbie. So she's been getting a lot of trips out of the house. Number 4 is 4-leaf Clover, your top 4 favorite dolls and their companies / artists. Okay, so I've already mentioned Patina. She's definitely a favorite. Patina, I believe, was made by Hasbro. I want to say 62, but I'm not sure. And then the other one is Emerald, who was made by Girls World, which I understand to be a division of Milton Bradley. And she was made in either 70 or 71, I believe. Both of these were in my Mod Dolls of the 60s and 70s book, my Dolly Bible. So I spent a lot of time looking at them back when I first started collecting dolls, when I had my first Blythes back in 2007. A lot of my Dolly friends on Flickr had Patinas and Emeralds, and a lot of them also had Susie. Susie's another favorite. Susie was also made in the 60s. I don't even know who made her. She's just marked like made in Hong Kong or made in China. And they're not the greatest quality. But I'm so happy to have Susie. I love her so much. And then number 4 is another one from back in those days. So if you can't tell, I tend to hang on to things. Like if I fixate on a doll, if I don't get that doll, I'm going to want that doll for at least a solid decade, for sure. That is Madeline Macabre. I just love her so much. I love her gothic theming. I love her story. I was lucky enough to get her in the box. She was, I believe, a birthday present to myself. I think I bought her around my birthday or at the end of a semester. Anytime I made the honor roll, I would buy myself a doll to like reward myself for my hard work. So it was either that or a birthday. But yeah, I love her so much. I'm so happy to finally own one. She's definitely a favorite. So these are definitely my top 4 favorite dolls. Number 5 is Wee Little Lad. What is the smallest doll in your collection? I don't know if these like are the smallest size wise, but this is what I chose just because I like them the best out of all my teeny tiny dolls, and that is my little Kittles. So I have this girl. I don't know who she is. This little raincoat I think went to another Kittle that was a firefighter, and then I also have the little purple perfume girl with her perfume bottle, and both of these were Goodwill finds. Very, very lucky Goodwill finds. I haven't done much with them, but I've been looking at Kittles on Pinterest a lot, and like their stock is really adorable, so I'd like to do something with them soon. So maybe they'll make an upcoming appearance. Number 6 is Pinch Me. What is a doll that you can't believe you own or never thought you would own? So I'm going to quickly go through a couple of like really good deals that I got, starting with Bunny Blythe. Now Bunny is a Icy Blythe, so they're not particularly expensive. Oh, she lost her shoe. You can get one for around 30 bucks or so, but I found Bunny at the thrift store, and that's what makes her a spectacular deal. She came from the thrift store. Speaking of thrift finds, in the same bag that my Kittles came in, so there were several vintage dolls, a lot of which I sold, but I did keep the Kittles and I kept these 2. It's Francie and Casey, particularly Francie. I didn't think I would ever have a Francie, and she's in really good condition. Her and Casey came in these vintage dresses. I believe this one's called the Float Away dress, and then I have one more vintage dress that came with them. And they're just beautiful dolls, and I love them, and like I said, I never thought I would have one. So I did keep those. And then I have some Cabbage Patch deals to show you. So I did a video about this girl. This is Goldine. She's my Sakuda, and I believe I paid $15 for her. The seller did not know what they had. I just zoomed in on the listing and saw that she was made in Japan and purchased her. And then also this girl, my Head Mold 17 Corn Silk. I got her in a lot of 3 dolls that I believe I paid $30 for, but that was just for her. That was a spectacular deal because Head Mold 17s can be very, very expensive. And then Petula was also about $30, $35. She is a popcorn girl, and they tend to be around $100, sometimes more. And she's also, what is this, Head Mold 11? Yeah, Head Mold 11 with the tongue out. So I know she would have been more if she had been listed as a Head Mold 11 popcorn girl. My friend Holly at Dolls, Toys, and More found the listing and sent it to me because she didn't want any more popcorns. She already had one. She knew I didn't have one in my collection, which was a very, very kind thing to do. So I was able to get a spectacular deal on Petula. Okay, but the number one best deal to me, Buddy Lee. Now, he's damaged. He's got some damage. But you know what? You can't bust him. I never in a million years thought I would have a Buddy Lee doll. And if the house was on fire, he's probably the one I would reach for, honestly. I still can't believe it. Because you know what? I paid $24 for him. Yeah. I was in a group of composition doll collectors, and this woman was getting out of the hobby, selling off her project dolls, and the person who had claimed him before me ghosted her. So I got him. I love him so much. I love Buddy Lee so much. And I only have 2 composition dolls now. I've repaired and sold several, and I'm just down to these 2, him and one other that I have. And I don't know that I'll ever fully restore him because I feel like the temptation would be there to sell him. So I kind of like him as he is. His face is still in good shape. You see, he's still shiny. Gosh, he's cute. I think Buddy Lee is cuter than the Cupies. I'm just going to say it. Love Buddy Lee so much. If the house was on fire, I'd probably reach for Buddy Lee. Okay, and then number 7. So last question. Redheaded Leprechaun. Do you have any redheads or fantasy dolls in your collection? Show them. So I have several with red hair. One that I forgot to grab was Wedding Day Midge. That was one I had as a child. Now, she's not my childhood doll. I don't think I have any of my childhood dolls. But I did have a Wedding Day Midge, and she is particularly beautiful Midge doll. If you're looking at getting a Midge, look at that one, because that's the one to get, in my opinion. I have this Tycho Ariel that I thrifted. Growing up, Ariel was my very favorite princess, and I had a lot of the Ariel dolls. And of course, with that being in the early 90s, they were all Tycho. I had the tropical one. I had the big one with the pull string. I loved Ariel, and I had a lot of Ariel dolls. I don't know that I had this one, but this is the one I have now because she goes better with my collection. And I thrifted her, so very happy to have her. And then I also have my Anne doll that I made. So this is a Jenny doll, a Vogue Jenny from the 70s, and she's in a Madame Alexander outfit. She's still got the hot glue strings on her hat. So last summer I read most of the Anne of Green Gables series, and I wanted an Anne doll. So I had this old Jenny that needed a makeover pretty badly, and I gave her freckles, and I got her this outfit. I made her this hat and turned her into Jenny Ann. And that's what I call her. She's Jenny Ann. And then, speaking of Madame Alexander, I also have my Beanie Weenie is her name. So she is a sissy face Madame Alexander, and I'm not sure if she is a Benny Walker or a Winnie Walker. I can never remember which one she is, so I just call her Beanie Weenie. She was in really bad shape. She is missing a finger. She had the most severe eye roll ever. I finally got her eyes braced up, mostly in the correct position. She's missing some lashes. She is a hard plastic doll, probably from the 50s, possibly the 60s, but I think 50s. And she is my Ideal Tony's best friend. And she has more of like a strawberry blonde, but I'm going to put her in here with the redheads because she really doesn't get any camera time, and she is a very special doll to me. I didn't think I'd ever have any sissies or dolls with the sissy face. Now my Morticia is a sissette, which I think are 10 inches. They're a little bit bigger than the Alexanderkins. Yeah, I actually purchased her from my friend Sydney at Sad Girl Dolls, and I feel very lucky to have her in my collection. That is a lot. We're almost to 15 minutes. Let me know what you liked, what you thought. I would like to leave this tag open for any of my dolly friends, or if you want to apply it to plushies. I left plushies out because that would make this 3 times as long, 3 times as more long and difficult and complicated, because those are some hard decisions to make when you're pulling the dolls to show. But I'd love to see what you have to show. Let's talk about it down in the comments. And everyone go check out Evelina's channel and anyone else that may be participating. And as always, remember, the world's a better place with you here in it, and you matter. I would like to say I'm not showing these dolls to brag or show off, because I have been through those hard times where I didn't have these things, or I did have to sell my expensive or valuable dolls, or dolls that were special to me. And I just want to say, if you're at that point in your life right now, don't give up. You can always get it back. You can always get it back. This isn't forever. Your right now is not forever, okay? Remember, the world's a better place with you here in it. You matter, and you have to keep going, and I like you just the way you are. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!